Chat. We're all gonna die, chat. You think Biden's plan is going to allow us to live to the year 2050? I'm so sorry to have to tell you this. We're all gonna burn up and die in 10 years' time. Maybe it's just the way that I say things, you know? Planet Earth, dead. Planet Earth in 20 years, dead. We're all going to the bad place. Chat, I finished watching The Bad Place, The Good Place. I finished watching The Good Place like a few days ago. I cried so hard. I cried so hard. It was so sad. I see danger. Thank you for gifting a tier 1 sub to Yeti. What's a good place? I wept. I wept. I tried so hard to keep it into because I didn't want anyone to know, just in case. Did they have a new season? Yeah. They're done. They're only doing 4 seasons. You fell under their spell? Liddy, thank you for the follow. Ted Danson still in there? Yeah. It's all Sneak. Thank you so much for gifting a tier 1 subby. I thought this was a political stream. It is. It's a doll stream. It's a doll stream. It's a political stream. What are your views on nuclear power? I both concede to the notion that Joe Biden is marginally better than Donald Trump, and nuclear power might be the best way forward. Nuclear fission is dumb, yes, even the new tech. Again, I'm a fair weather leftist. I'm a fair weather leftist, apparently. Every time that I try to push for an alternative to nuclear power, I get hit by the tech bros / debate bros, debate lords, who tell me I'm a dumb idiot girl who doesn't know anything. We only use nuclear fusion. We have a nuclear physicist in chat. We use nuclear. Okay, y'all are just spewing misinformation. Y'all telling me one thing, you're saying another. I was joking. I am a dum-dum. I am not a nuclear energy expert. You should be a stylist, Amy. You always know what to wear. Again, I do think that the consensus around nuclear-powered energy comes from a lack of R&D, that would be research and development, to find a way to move from fossil fuel to green energy infrastructure, because we don't have a viable path forward. We don't have a viable solution right now to be able to fully generate power that would be comparable to the grid that we use now for renewable energy. That is the missing component. We don't have the technology right now to find a way to power the grid using renewable technology sources in the way that fossil fuels or hydroelectric power is used to completely cover the entire grid, right? We don't have that kind of sustainable power available with renewable technology in the transition from current technology to renewable technology or green technology. That is the missing component. And instead of trying to find a way to fill in the gaps with research and development and new technological advancement, we're just like, fuck it, let's just do nuclear because we know it works and it's not so bad. It's green. Hydrosonic power? What's hydrosonic power? Hydroelectric. So yeah, it's because of that missing piece to the puzzle. Instead of the consensus being, hey, let's find a way to address the missing component. It's like, hey, let's just go ahead and implement this half measure because we know it works, instead of actually making a full-blown transition to renewable energy and green infrastructure. Wind and solar need batteries. Use what works until we have complete renewables. Why wouldn't we? I don't mean fossil fuels. I would assume you mean nuclear powered in power plants and other forms of nuclear energy. Right? Why can't we just use what the aliens use? Again, like, this is not like my strongest suit. I've tried to like really get into this topic of conversation. Like, I've tried to do as much research as possible. I kind of gave up midway, actually. I did not go forward with as much, I did not go forward with like better educating myself as much as I should have. Building renewables matters. Okay. Anyway, it's no big deal. I mean, it's a really, really, really important topic, though. I am most interested in geothermal energy, to be completely honest. And I know people are like, how could you be so interested in geothermal and be like hand wave away nuclear energy? Like, I don't know. I want to know why I am so, first and foremost, I need to know why I am so interested in nuclear, why I'm so, it's crazy. I'm drawn to geothermal energy or learning more about it. Geothermal is the most practical, in my opinion. I mean, look at Greenland. For the new peeps in chat, Amy is a world-renowned physicist with expertise in multiple fields. Huh? No, it's not. Yeah, Iceland uses geothermal. But it has a lot of potential and it's pretty safe. So why are we not talking about making a shift to geothermal energy use? You can do a lot in 100 years. Iceland has a lot of active geothermal areas. So does the United States. Geothermal needs a crust, and most places like that are also volcanic. Because the oil lobbies, Amy, come on. I want anything about that. Let's just make the whole world volcanic salt. Thin crust. You mean the world is just one old... What if the whole world was just one big old thin crust pizza? What would we do then? Turn Yellowstone into a power plant? No, but really, you're capping, but why not? I would eat it. I would definitely... Listen, don't tempt me. Geothermal is much better, clean, renewable energy from the earth itself. Nuclear forces centralization and regulation because of the dangers, which is why dumbass libs don't like it. Seriously, we could turn Old Faithful at Yellowstone into a power plant, no kappa? What the fuck? You what? Why are we not doing this? You watched the Chicago 7 on Netflix. No. You and pizza? Wait a minute. Tell me more. The tables have turned, chat. Educate me. Please. Because it wouldn't be worth the tourist revenue? Yo, if this motherfucker is about to blow anyway. Alright, hear me out. If this motherfucker is about to blow anyway, and there would be some way to neutralize that motherfucker by using... I keep on saying motherfucker like I'm Samuel L. Jackson. There's a motherfucking idiot on Twitch talking about motherfucking nuclear energy that she doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. Okay, wait. It's gonna Amye L. Jackson. Put this into terms that I understand. Everyone say hi to Amy. Okay. Okay, wait. Okay, so my question should be, let's regroup, chat. Please, we're on to something. Come on, this is now a think tank. AMC3 headquarters has now materialized into a think tank. So now that we're here, everyone please. How do we take Old Faithful and turn it into how do we turn it into the nuclear, but how do we turn it into the centralized location for brand new geothermal energy standards? Go. Put a dome over Yellowstone and do stuff. Okay, you can't? In France, they call it Fission Royale. Royale, because it's like a... Get some... With imagination, you can do anything. I need to know. Or die. I need to know these things. Electricity can only run so far. Okay, so maybe it's like a regional. Maybe it's like a regional source of energy. What if we make a shift and we no longer have like... I mean, okay, here's the thing. You know that the grid uses different sources of energy at a regional level, right? It's not just like one large mega power source that fuels the entire grid. You know that, right? Let's do a reverse matrix and put the robots in energy farms. No, it's just one. No, it's just one. No. Wait a minute. Coal or natural gas? Okay, what is the one solo dolo energy source for the grid? One grid to rule them all. It's in Area 51. The sun. There isn't. I know that. If we if we built Instant G a shack in Yellowstone and put a turbine by his arse, you'd be able to power LA. I mean, I don't know. Instant G is just saying some weird shit, talking to my couch. Apparently my couch is talking back. I don't even... Honestly, places like Arizona and Texas could get all of their electricity from solar.
Blue star. Let's find out how I got a book.
Oh, Jen, that's the color I really love. That.
That's not the big loop. You don't go. You don't know what's the difference. Yeah.
She got to see us in you.
No, there's another something. See, I know you don't need to see what's the difference.
You need to see that color
Alright, great.
clay or growth into this. So white or yellow.
Isn't that something?
Did somebody just sneeze? God bless you. All right. I'm sorry. I don't know why. These things are humorous too.
Bei mir kannst du es früher lassen. Und ohne die Dämpfer.
Just looking at the new opportunity, right? The frontier of the new wave of green energy infrastructure. All of the possibilities. Geyser, exploration, the new frontier of saving the planet by investing in green energy infrastructure, research and development to fill in all of the blanks and everything beyond that. I don't know. I got my wheels spinning. As if I have any stake in this, though. As if I have any stake in this process, because I know nothing. I know next to literally nothing. NASA's crazy plan to save the world from the super volcano under Yellowstone. When was this? Gazer. I wish it were Gazer. There's a black hole bomb that works like this, actually. What? Is Yellowstone overdue for an eruption? When will Yellowstone erupt? Mic is quiet or videos are too loud. Who owns the wilderness? Why do you keep on saying the bowl noodle? Wait, I'm not moving forward until instant G, you tell me what this means. Instant SG, you tell me what this means. What does the bowl noodle mean? Okay, I'm getting conflicting arguments here. What are you talking about? You're kind of freaking me out, dude. They're not talking to you, they're talking to the bowl noodle.
Yellowstone National Park is one of the must-see locations in the US, but underneath it is one of about 20 supervolcanoes around the world, and it could erupt at any time. Ah, nature. A supervolcano is one that ejects more than 1,000 cubic kilometers of pumice and ash in a single eruption. The result of a super eruption would be soot in the atmosphere blocking sunlight and cooling the planet for years, changing the global climate enough to kill a significant number of species, possibly even us. This is scarier than a comet or asteroid impact because we can't send Bruce Willis to blow it up. It's right in our backyard. So naturally, NASA...
For once in our fucking lives, we need the Nimbiers to rise the fuck up and stop this monstrosity from occurring, alright? Where you at, Nimbiers? Listen. Man your battles. Listen, Matt. Listen, chat. Man your battle stations. Man your fucking battle stations. We need the Nimbiers to fight this battle on our behalf. They've never had an issue being Nimbiers before. Why start now? We kicked out all the NIMBYs. We need the NIMBYs. We need to bring them back. Bring them back.
has come up with a way to delay that devastating event and generate clean energy in the process. Seismologists believe that the supervolcano under Yellowstone erupts once every 600,000 or so years. The odds we'll see it are low, but we're coming up on that thermal breaking point where it will blow eventually. NASA's plan is to cool the magma chambers inside the supervolcano so it doesn't.
Get so excited.
Most of Yellowstone's heat, between 60 and 70%, is lost through leaking via hot springs. Experts say that cutting 35% of the remaining heat could stop the supervolcano.
This person's a robot. You don't need NIMBYs when you have Bruce fucking... Listen, we don't put... Why would we put our faith into Bruce Willis? Alright, Bruce Willis, his character on Armageddon isn't real. NIMBYism is very much real. I think we need to be smart about this. I'm just saying.
Volcano from erupting. Volcanic heat is already used by people in Iceland to power and heat their homes. We do everything bigger in America, so let's tap into the biggest volcano that we have. NASA's plan is to drill as far as 10 kilometers down inside the Yellowstone caldera and pump in high-pressure water to absorb the heat. Coming out of the volcano...
Y'all fucking laughed at me whenever I said we need to find a way to neutralize the risk of this volcanic eruption. Y'all fucking laughed at me. And here we are getting a scientific explanation how to do just that.
That scorching water would be used to power a geothermal energy plant. There are a couple of ways to do this. The super hot water could be brought to a cooling tank, and as it cools, it would turn into water vapor, a process called flash vaporization. That vapor could then drive a turbine that powers a generator, providing energy. Another option is a binary cycle power plant that uses something called a heat transfer fluid. The fluid turns into vapor as the superheated water passes through a heat transfer tank. But again, it's the vapor that powers the turbine to power the generator. In either case, there are lots of benefits to geothermal power, which could provide energy to the surrounding area for as much as 10,000 years. It's
10,000
clean, available around the clock.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait, 10,000 years? 10,000 years? Why? What are we doing? What are we doing with our chat? Somebody call the fucking sunrise movement. You mean to tell me that geothermal was an option or could be an option for 10,000 years? This could be a viable energy source for the next 10,000 years? Geothermal is still pretty bad for the environment simply because hot liquid is often pumped back into regular waterways and kills literally everything. I seriously do not think that we should completely dismiss the opportunity to pump in even more research and development to try to find a way to secure our own water systems, our underwater channels specifically, which I'm assuming is often polluted or is often affected the most by the hot water from geothermal. Thank you, Simp Daddy Kane, for gifting a tier 1 subby. Thank you so much. Thank Carl for that sub. Oh, thanks, Carl. Hey, Carol. Hey, Carl. Carol. Hey, Carl. Thank you. I don't know what you did, but thank you so much for being a very valuable member of this community. Any curls in the chat? You can use the heat to cleanse it most times, can't you? I would say the heat from these geothermal hotspots could do real damage to groundwater. Or the existing channels that's directing the groundwater to another larger source. Well, I think that there's probably some. I would say that let's see. I'm no hydraulics or aquaponics specialist whatsoever, but I would say that the water, the chemical makeup of the water in the hot springs might differ from the water that's much more pure, right? Much more springy underground, and that there could be an issue with the infiltration of one of these water sources to the other water sources. This could lead to contamination. Like, it's obviously a contamination issue, right? But I can't really tell you much further than that because I honestly, it goes beyond my purview. It's something where I should just water treatment, yeah. But I think that the question is, how do you install a water treatment facility below the ground, at the groundwater level, to ensure that you are filtering out or eliminating the risk of contamination with groundwater sources. 2 awesome Amy's in one stream, but Amy Shearer is not NASA, she's Canadian. Oh, her? Eliminating. 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 Eliminate. Eliminate. Eliminating. 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 Eliminate. Eliminating. Eliminate. 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 So whenever I like have an issue with saying a word, I try to figure out where I have the issue, and then I say it in different I say it in different spots to realize like where to say it or where not to say it. That's how I learned how to say femininity. Because I remember I had to learn the exact placement on my tongue. So femininity. You're like a baby. I am like a baby. Femininity. Here, listen. This was me a while back. Itty. I don't even remember what word it was. What the fuck was that? I like how somebody called me a ninny. Yeah. Maybe just don't fuck with the biggest volcano on the planet. I mean, if it's going to blow eventually, like what? You got it. What was the word? Oh no, not modernity. It really is tough though. Femininity. No, it's not. It's not. You just have to be careful. If you have a big old fat piece of plastic in your mouth, you just have to find the right placement for your tongue. It was lemonade. No. It was eliminate. It was eliminating. Okay. Eliminating.
I'm about.
Eliminate. Now I'm just saying illuminate. Eliminate. Do you like pull? Eliminates. No. I don't like this. I'm sorry. Eliminates. Eliminate. Chat, I'm sorry. Sometimes I like to fuck. I'm so mean. I'm kind of mean, but I'm half a brain dead idiot, and then also I am just mean, and I will just take things too far and make it seem like I can't talk, and that's not a good look.
Clock has low emissions and a small footprint, and because of that, a minimal environmental impact. The problem with this crazy planet-saving, energy-yielding NASA plan is that it's not perfect. A misplaced drill could trigger a super eruption.
Eliminate.
And the $3.46 billion price tag is pretty much a non-starter.
Femininity.
But the eruption...
Sometimes I am an asshole, chat, and I apologize. Sometimes I make it seem like I'm a dumb baby. I don't know what I'm talking about. Whenever I do, I'm really bad about that sometimes. I'm so sorry. Sometimes I take things too far because I know it really fucks. I'm so mean.
Eruption will happen if we don't do something. It's inevitable. And though $3.46 billion sounds like a lot, the US government spends that about every 8 hours.
Do it louder.
And this might be worth saving.
How now, brown cow? How now, brown cow? It's because I'll say something bad, like I will mispronounce something once and then I'll just keep on doing it. Sometimes I do truly like will take the time, like with, this is no bullshit. I did that with femininity. Like I took time on stream to figure out where to place my tongue whenever it hits the plastic. Femininity. And sometimes I get it wrong still because I have to like train my brain to remember the placement, the specific placement. And sometimes, again, it's like a mixed bag. You're not the only streamer.
The planet.
I am.
If nothing else.
I am the only streamer.
When NASA releases the details, this
Nobody
could
else.
get researchers thinking about other solutions to this bubbling time bomb. Yellowstone National Park is amazing, and if you visit, you might want to make a website of pictures to share, which means you'll need a domain from domain.com. When you buy a domain name from domain.com, you're taking the first steps in creating an identity.
World's first streamer. Only streamer. There was nobody else. You are the first streamer in history. True facts.
And vision for your brand.
Pigs didn't know modernity until now. Spent quite some time. No, I cannot say that Delve the Dragon. Who?
Now today we had a big
Say it loud, fast. What word? Does eat oats and lamb eat oats and little lamb eat ivy? What? What is this? Does eat oats and lamb eat oats and little lambs eat ivy? I say it like it's a interrogative statement. It's clearly not. It's just declarative, but it just sounds like it should be a question. I don't know. Is that weird? I know how to pronounce. I don't know how to say that. I can't say that. So solve global warming by pulling the heat out of the globe. All right, so honestly, let's think about this. If we are seeing a shift, an increase in surface temperature and seawater temperature that could reach 2 degrees Celsius, an increase of 2 degrees Celsius, why wouldn't we try to extract this increased temperature from geothermal hotspots? It's like an endless supply of an energy source. Not really, but again, like these are naturally occurring hotspots that could be used to generate electricity for the next 10,000 years. The monies. Money isn't real. You have to dig though. Gates of hell?
in the
What? I'm scared, Chad. I don't want to see the gates of hell. Amy, have you accepted our Lord and Savior into yourself? No. I mean, I know that there's a lot of Satanists in this chat. But either way, I've accepted neither into yourself. That sounds really weird. Jay sneaking in pothole, God. Kamukai, is it Kamika? Kamika Wolf? Hi. I was a Satanist when I was 13. you know, it scares me. All right, that's, huh? Big curse energy. Do I give off big curse energy? What do you mean big curse energy? Spill it. In nice? Did you see Big Dick Wolf on the surfs today? Kumaki? Oh, thank you. No, you give off big Poseida energy? Huh? Have you accepted our next savior, John Delaney, into your hearts? Look, dude, if you told me you were a practicing Wiccan, I couldn't say I was surprised. I'm not Wiccan, by the way. I'm very weird about that stuff. Looks like the geothermal dream ended. Nope. Maybe we can keep it alive. Would you swim in power plant wastewater? Okay, the answer should obviously be no. What's happening? No, it is yes. Wait. Oh. Kentos, yes. I hope you let me know if you have any questions. Geothermal produces GHG. GHG stands for greenhouse gas. People love power plant wastewater. How does geothermal produce greenhouse gas? What's new in politics? Well, I look like an emo tonight. Adult film star speaks out on how probably some CO2 as well. Wait a minute. How? Okay, let me see. Environmental impacts of geothermal energy. Oh. can't read this right now. Thank you, Black Knight. Soda Pop, thank you for the follow. I'm so tired, chat. I started to do a really deep dive in my YouTube script. I'm just reading, right? I'm not even writing. I'm just reading. I'm just reading so much. I'm not complaining. What was that website? Union of Concerned Scientists. Hey, Chad is not your therapist. All I said was that I'm doing a lot of reading and research for my next YouTube video. Oh no, did it sound like I was being bitchy? I apologize, Chad. I'm sorry if it sounded like I was complaining. I was not complaining. I was not trying to be bitchy C3. Oh wait. Climate scientists, though? Yeah, I think we should trust them. I think that we should listen, Chad. I don't know. I know this sounds crazy, but I think that we should trust climate scientists. Really lame joke, but I mean, honestly. What do you say? What do you say? I don't know. Sounds kind of sus. I mean, it's supposed to be like a... Hey, you guys. Thank you for the follow. It's supposed to be like a no-brainer. Like, we listen to science. We listen to science. We should just listen to science. It should be the norm. We should definitely listen to climate scientists, right? Like, no questions asked. Sloth. It's pretty gross. What do you mean? With sloth? Oh, Slothio? Listen to science, but make value judgments based on the science. I mean, no, listen to scientists. Listen to scientists. You know, listen to the scientists in the scientific community for the most part, there's a scientific consensus that climate change is real. And if we do not act now, we will see catastrophic damage that will not be undone. It will be irreversible. And there's nothing that we will do there's nothing that we will be able to do about it once we start to see cataclysmic impacts related to climate change. Trusting someone who knows more than I do about a specific subject? Nah, fuck that.
Hi everybody. Today I want to talk about Today I want to tell you why I had to stop reading news about climate science, because it pisses me off every single time. There's all these left-wing do-gooders who think their readers are too fucking dumb to draw their own conclusions. So it's not enough to tell me what's the correlation between hurricane intensity and air moisture. No, they also have to tell me that, therefore, I should donate to save the polar bears. There's this implied link. Science says this, therefore, you should do that. Follow the science, stop flying, follow the science, go vegan, follow the science and glue yourself to a bus, because certainly that's the logical conclusion to draw from the observed weakening of the Atlantic meridional circulation. When I was your age, we learned science does not say anything about what we should do. What we should do is a matter of opinion. Science is a matter of fact. Science tells us what situation we are in and what consequences our actions are likely to have. But it does not tell us what to do. Science does not say you shouldn't pee on high voltage lines. It says urine is an excellent conductor. Science does not say you should stop smoking. Science says nicotine narrows arteries. So if you smoke, you will probably die young, lacking a few toes. Science does not say we should cut carbon dioxide emissions. It says if we don't, then by the end of the century, estimated damages will exceed some trillion US dollars. Is that what we should go for? Well, that's a matter of opinion. Follow the science is a complete rubbish idea, because science does not know the direction. We have to decide what way to go. You'd think it's bad enough that politicians conflate scientific fact with opinion, but the media actually make it worse. They make it worse by giving their audience the impression that it matters what someone whose job it is to execute the will of the electorate believes about scientific facts. But I couldn't care less if Donald Trump believes in climate change. Look, this is a man who can't tell herd immunity from herd mentality. He probably thinks winter's the same as an ice age. It's not his job to offer opinions about science he clearly doesn't understand. So why do you keep asking him? His job is to say, if the situation is this, we will do that. At least in principle, that's what he should be doing. Then you look up what science says, which situation we are in, and act accordingly. The problem you see, is that by conflating the two things, the facts with the opinions, the media give people an excuse to hide opinions behind scientific beliefs. If you don't give a shit that today's teenagers will struggle their whole life cleaning up the mess that your generation left behind, fine, that's a totally valid opinion, but please just say it out loud so we can all hear it. Don't cover it up by telling us a story about how you weren't able to reproduce a figure in the IPCC report, even though you tried really hard for almost 10 seconds, because no one gives a shit
As
whether
if any American who is clapping back with the rebuttal that climate change ain't real, it's because they were crunching the numbers. They tried to emulate the methodology used by the IPCC or the IPCC to determine if the timeline provided by this group of climate scientists were accurate, and could not come to the same conclusions reached by the scientific census from this very particular community, this very particular committee tasked with trying to give us a timetable when to expect the worst of the worst when it comes to cataclysmic climate change related disaster. And just being like, you know what, I crunched the numbers, I double checked, you know what, sorry to be micromanager Nancy here, but I went ahead, I checked your numbers, they didn't check out on my end, and this is the reason why I don't believe in climate change. That's not the fucking rebuttal in the United States. Americans just don't want to make any changes to their behavior. They don't want to have to make any kind of sacrifice. They want their guns, they want their big ass trucks, they want to do what they want to consume to fill the empty void, you know, to try to make up for the fact that they spend like 8 to 10 hours a day exploiting, being exploited by their employer, right? And it comes down to not wanting to have to make any changes, because we're already spread so thin, because we're all under the thumb of capitalism, and we're literally coerced into working our lives away, that at the very least, we can consume as much as our hearts desire. We don't have to worry about whether or not we're being wasteful with plastic. You get to drive your car that's maybe not energy powered, and that kind of brings you a sense of liberation, right? It's kind of like the liberation from owning the libtards, because you're just like, you know, exercising your independence and making a decision as to what kind of car you drive, and that feels real good to some people. But again, I digress. We're in the weeds right now. We are in the weeds. I'm in the minds of the average American who just thinks that it would be the worst thing ever. It would be the worst thing ever to have to make any shift in behavior when it comes to mitigating the risk of climate change, if it came down to it, right? It's the doomer hours. Oh, there they are. They're the doomer hours. They came. I knew that they would be here. I knew they were right around the corner. Is it a doomer hour? Okay, so is it so much a doomer take, or is it just providing an accurate reflection? I would say that it's accurately reflecting the mindset of anyone who right now in the United States in 2020 is a climate change denier.
Global warming, which a lot of
like, I don't even think it's like so much being a doomer as it's being honest about how we are struggling with knowing how to combat climate change whenever we can't even get people on board in the US and agree that climate change is real. Case in point.
People think is a hoax.
I don't think it's a hoax. I think there's probably a difference, but I don't know that it's man-made.
The earth will end only when God declares it's time to be over. Man will not destroy this earth. This earth will not be destroyed by a flood.
When it comes to addressing climate change, let's take action, but let's be smart and pragmatic about it. We should focus on realistic solutions to prepare for the future.
Most experts believe by 2083, in 70 years, the benefits of climate change will still outweigh the harms.
We're going to still see the oceans rise, temperatures are going to increase, Miami's going to be underwater. They continue to burn fossil fuels. We're still going to have a water problem. We're still going to have droughts. We're still going to have severe weather all around the globe.
I do not believe that human activity is causing these dramatic changes to our climate the way these scientists are portraying it. Scientists are saying that humanity and its behavior is contributing towards that. I can't tell you what percentage of that is due to human activity, and I think many scientists would debate the percentage.
You don't really expect to abolish the EPA, do you?
Well, there are a number of federal environmental laws that we will still need to enforce. But my belief is the EPA in its current form cannot be reformed.
The Earth is warming, and I think that humans contribute greatly to that warming, and we've got to, I think, be more astute about the research we do.
There are a bunch of scientists who feel that this is a problem and that maybe we can do something about CO2 emissions. Back in the 70s, a lot of scientists felt we were moving toward an ice age.
Do you believe in climate change? And do you believe that humans are contributing to a warming globe?
I do. The question is, how do you address it?
All right, let's do something. Hey, it's Wesley Lowery of the Washington Post here. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to get all of our latest reporting, analysis, and stay up to date on what's going on in the world around you.
Have you read all those books?
No, not even close.
Why is the music getting louder? Probably for dramatic effect. Yeah, so whenever you have public officials undermining the severity of climate change, making it seem like it's not a priority, and that because there is no clear line of defense or a plan of action that can be agreed upon, maybe it's something we can put on the back burner, and kind of get to at a later time.